All right, let's give you some things to look forward to and to look at in these 5 or 6 games in the NFL that I'm looking at this weekend. Let's start with Pittsburgh at Philly. Philly coming off a tough loss, but a great game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Pittsburgh Steelers now are back to what they used to be, and that's physical, hard-pounding football. Willie Parker averaging almost 30 carries a game. And when you think about that, that means Pittsburgh Steelers football is back to doing what they do, but they're also mixing in the big play. So look for them to try and pound it and get after it, and even because Philadelphia is going to not only try to blitz on Ben Roethlisberger and keep him in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, so Willie Parker doesn't get those carries, but you'll look at them a lot on run blitz to try and stuff it in the backfield and not allow Willie Parker to get going, so it's even longer yardage situation. I got Philly in this football game, but Pittsburgh doesn't lose to NFC teams. Even though they're going on the road, I think out of the last 15 games, they've won 13 against the NFC. Pittsburgh dominates the NFC, even though the NFC is a better conference so far this early in the season. The Saints against the Broncos, 2 high-powered offenses, but the Saints have got to get more powerful. They can't continue to be finesse. It looks real pretty, but it's not a dominating thing. They need more work out of Deuce McAllister, trying to get him more work after coming off last year's injury. They have got to control the football and dominate the line of scrimmage. If they don't, Cutler will have a field day. He's having a great time throwing the ball, and Denver's running game hasn't even got going the way we expect him to. But if this becomes a passing fancy, right now the way Cutler's throwing it, advantage Denver. You got to like Denver at home against the New Orleans Saints. The Indianapolis Colts, they rely on Dallas Clark. Is that pretty obvious and maybe understated a little bit? Here's interesting now. With Dallas Clark on the sideline, the Colts offense just doesn't seem to move. They don't seem to get things going. They're playing against the Jacksonville defense that's really physical and will get after them. Jacksonville always plays the Colts tough. Another thing is opposing teams are running the ball all over the Indianapolis Colts and no Bob Sanders, so they're losing the best tackler in football. And the Indianapolis Colts aren't running it on anybody. The Joseph Adai thing, what's going on? In their 2 games, they don't even have 100 yards rushing total, getting killed in that aspect. And Dallas Clark, obviously, to be able to stretch things out, game time, questionable type decision, but they must have him because this is not the same Colts offense without Dallas Clark. But on the other side, Jacksonville just can't be relying on being the bully and hitting you in the mouth all the time. There's got to be some jabs and move. And what I mean by that is just like last year, their receivers have got to step up. They don't step up having enough. Matt Jones is playing a little better. But I'm talking about they need a couple guys to catch 8, 9 balls in a game for 140 yards apiece and 2 touchdowns. They need that explosiveness, especially against the Colts. And one special thing to look for, if this game stays under 20, the winning team 17-13, the lower the score, the more it favors Jacksonville. That's the way they like to play their football. The Green Bay Packers hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys have not won. They're 0-5 at Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers has not thrown an interception, which is great because if you don't turn it over to Cowboys, you don't give that high-powered offense the ball. Cowboys are coming off that big win on Monday night, and the Green Bay Packers are back to this Lambeau Field mystique where you come in there, it's becoming one of the best home field advantages in the league again. They've won 19 out of the last 22 games there. They're killing people in Green Bay. They're obviously one of the bright teams and young teams in this league, the bright young teams that are stepping up their play, and keep an eye on this matchup. Al Harris and at times Charles Woodson, but Al Harris on Terrell Owens. It'll be physical. It'll be nasty. Maybe the 2 most physical players at their positions in the league. The Dallas Cowboys, they're the favorite. I'm picking the Packers to go on and upset the Dallas Cowboys. I just think Lambeau's rocking right now, but that'll be a great matchup. And how many carries will Marion Barber get in this game? Look for the Green Bay Packers try to manufacture the big play early to try and put the Cowboys in a chase mode. The Carolina Panthers going to Minnesota, starting to be whispers that Brad Childress is feeling the heat in Minnesota. It's not just the players, but Brad Childress. They better pick it up because 0-3, they're not going to the playoffs. Don't let anybody tell you any different that 3-0, it's still a long season. Well, the season's getting shorter every single week. I love the Panthers because they don't lose close games. Unlike the Chargers over in the AFC who lose close games, the Panthers close and finish. They get Steve Smith back, and even though they haven't been winning big, they win. Even though it's 5 points total in their 2 wins, this team knows how to close it out. Love the way Jake Delhomme's playing and his leadership. And finally, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears. Brian Griese starts at quarterback against the Bears defense. The Bears are going to pressure Griese. They're going to line up 8, 9, 10, 11 guys at the line of scrimmage, and Ernest Graham's going to have to carry it because right now I don't think Tampa can make a big play with their pass, but it's going to be there because they're going to blitz. And when you blitz, it's the greatest thing a quarterback can hope for is one-on-one coverage. Somebody better win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because the Bears are coming. Other side is that Brian Griese has seen this defense before, played with Chicago for a couple years. Tampa Bay, it's amazing how they continue to hang around with older receivers, but they've got to get some play out of the passing game also, because this could be a long day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if the Bears' defense is on. But on the other side, Bears aren't going to make many big plays either. This should be a low-scoring game because Tampa's cover 2 defense, they've been, but they're not going to give you a whole lot of plays. It should be some interesting things and some great games on Sunday as we head into Monday in the NFL season. But I'm telling you that there's some intriguing ones, and keep an eye on that matchup again, Terrell Owens against Al Harris, and watch how chippy and physical it gets in between plays, during plays, and after plays. Should be a fun matchup. Green Bay Packers are for real, but then again, the Dallas Cowboys are football's best team, in my opinion, right now. Should be a whale of a football game, and we got a lot of them on the docket for you here this Sunday.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.